Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Preschool All-Stars podcast. I am rejoined today by Sherry Stavig to get a little update on what's going on because, just from the Facebook group, I've been seeing some cool posts, and I've been waiting to talk to you and see what's going on. So I am excited to get the new lowdown.
Yeah, it's quite the endeavor. So
yeah, first give us a little rundown. We spoke about a year ago, I think. Where were you then, real quick, for anyone who missed your first episode?
So I was full. I'm still full. We're actually you're switched from a preschool to a micro school. So I have at this location, I have junior preschool, which is my 2 to 3 year olds, preschool, which is my 3 to 4 year olds, and then I have junior kindergarten, which is 4 to 5 year olds. No, wait, 2 to 3, yeah, 3, 4, 5, 4 to 5, and then kindergarten through 5th grade.
Okay. So, and that's it. This location, you mean, is this your house still?
Yes, this is at my house. Yes.
Okay.
I have one level of my house is kind of dedicated to the school. And so that's what we have here. And this location will remain open when as we're transitioning to the other space. It's kind of a different, similar program, but different in itself, different. So
okay, well, we're gonna hear all about that. So you have 4 classes going at once at your school?
Yeah.
Okay. And are they in different classrooms or same classroom? Are there different teachers? How does that work?
There's different teachers. We do have different dedicated spaces to each grade level. Our pre-K or our junior kindergarten, which is our pre-K class, and our preschool class are in the same room, and they do work with the same teacher and work together. They can use the same curriculum. But the junior kindergartners have a little bit more, they have more curriculum that they work on, like the ABC boot camp and things like that. So
cool.
They have a little added curriculum part to it. So,
and how many kids is full for just this location?
12.
Okay.
That's max. Now I can only have 12 at any given time. However, I juggle and manage about 25.
Okay. Is that because you have an AM and PM session?
No, actually we're all day. We're a full day schedule. So some of them are opposite days.
Okay.
So some might be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and some might be Tuesday, Thursday. And so that's how I juggle more than just the 12.
Perfect.
But I can only have 12 here at any given point
at a time. Okay. Yeah. And so are you licensed as a family or group care?
Yes. So in Kansas, you have for people who are doing out of their home, they have a family group license, which is what I am, which gives you 12.
Okay.
And then they have just a family license. It's called something else, but that only gets you 10. So really, and then depending on where you're living at, so out here where I live, I can have the 12, but if I lived in Wichita, I could only have 10 because Wichita has their own limits on what you can have in your house. So
okay. So even city to city, they have different rules. Okay.
Yes.
How many employees do you have?
I have 3. I have one, they're all part-time, but I have one that's about 30 hours a week. Okay. And then I have 2 other average about 10 hours or higher. So they have other things going. They work out as helpers. And then Ben and I are both, I in class anymore. I just do all the back office stuff and marketing and accounting and all of that. So, yeah. But my husband and our other employee who's here 5 days a week, they handle the teaching of taking care of all the kids. So,
your husband teaches?
Yeah. So I
Nice.
come out for lunch and that's about it
Nice.
out of my
Nice.
office.
Cool.
So
Okay. So, and that's been, so you've been full for like a year. So this has been what you've been doing this year, pretty much around there.
2
This has been your
years.
situation for 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And so now tell us what's coming in the future for you. What's this plan coming up?
Well, so we decided that, well, I decided that I wanted to open up a second location. Where we live, the school district is, of course, short on bus drivers. So they had decided this year that they were not going to bus anyone who lived within 2.5 miles of their school. Whereas before, everybody could ride the bus. It didn't matter how far you lived away from the school. So I felt like there was going to be a market for parents, because I belong to the parent groups on Facebook, and they were all complaining and wondering how they were going to get their kids to school because the school district wasn't busing anymore. So, wow, that's going to be an opportunity for somebody, and that somebody might as well be me. So we're looking at commercial property. We actually applied. I actually wrote business proposals and sent them to 2 different locations. And we were one of 3 at each location, and they both picked us.
Wow.
Then, yeah, so then we had to decide what the actual business plan was going to be and which space fit that need better. But the choices were, it was a house that was converted into offices, basically, that would then work as classrooms there. And then there was one that was in a strip mall, which was bare bones. Basically, it was white walls and a concrete floor and some crazy DIY gone wrong project that the previous tenants were in there. They're both across the street from the school, from one of the middle schools. And we thought to ourselves, I got to plug you in because you're about to die. So we thought to ourselves, well, what's the market that we're trying to get to, and how are we going to fit that into our business? So we decided to go with the strip mall. It's 1,300 square feet. There is nothing in it. Well, there's this crazy bar thing, countertop thing that they left behind, but once we get that out, there won't be anything in it. So we met with our design team today. The big challenge at this point was to try to figure out what theme we wanted to make it. So it's going to be an actual themed project. We went from outer space to the jungle to, what was the other one? Under the sea. So we decided on going with the beach theme. So it will be, the carpeting will be, we're kind of tossed around a couple different ideas, but we'll either do like a sand color at the front of the building and transition to a darker blue. So it's like you're on the beach, which is going to be the preschool area. And then the blue would be the water. Which is going to be the after school program tutoring. So in this building, we'll have preschool, junior kindergarten, K-5, before and after school program and tutoring. So we met with the design team today to try to figure out how we were going to fit all of the things that we wanted into the space, and keep with the theme, because it's not going to be the bright primary colors that most preschools or daycare centers have. They all seem to do a more primary color palette. Ours are going to be more like aqua and light teal and blue. And so that's where we're at with that. I opened pre-registration for the fall. And in the first day, I got 5 kids enrolled in our before and after school program.
Nice.
I am going to work with the district and see if there's a way that we can get busing from our location, since there'll be a group of kids, that's one stop. So I'm working on that. If that doesn't work, then I'm going to have to figure out a plan B, and I haven't got that yet. So we'll see what happens with that as it gets closer to school starting. But yeah, so it's overwhelming.
Yeah. That's a lot. I mean, you're trying to be open for fall. So like in August.
Yes. So our time frame is a soft launch on August, just to kind of see about working out the kinks and that kind of thing, because we know there's going to be some, and then full on open to the public when school starts, which I think is the 17th of August or something like that. So we have a lot of work ahead of us in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
We did today, as we were walking through the designers, we did come up with a name for our kitchen area. So it's going to be called the dock.
Okay.
So it's going to be like a wooden plank looking,
oh, I love that.
Vinyl plank flooring.
Okay.
Hopefully looking like, like weathered wood. And that will be where the kitchen area is for snacks and that kind of thing. So I was going to call it the cafe, and I thought, well, that's just too ordinary. It doesn't really go with anything. And then as I was explaining to my husband what my vision was with the designers, I said, I was wanting it to be like a dock, like a boat dock. And so that's kind of what we're doing with that. Now, as far as I know of, we are the only program of this type that has a theme throughout the entire building. And I also told the designers today, I want it to be a duplicatable floor plan. And because my husband says we're going to open one this year, we're going to open another one next year. Year 3, we'll open up 2 more. So that would be a total of 5. And I don't want them all to have the same theme. So one might be space and aliens, and one might be a jungle. And so I want to be able to say, okay, well, this is going to be our theme for this building. All we have to do is change colors. We can duplicate it in another strip mall space somewhere else. So
how many rooms are there in it, and what's going to be your capacity?
So our capacity, according to the state, can be 52 kids.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, but that's a lot of kids.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So we're going
how
to
many
try
kids in each room would that be? What would the class sizes be if that you did that?
Well, they wouldn't all be there at the same time, because
Okay.
I'm going to limit preschool class to 10. All the classes to 10 kids basically per class.
Okay.
Now with the before and after school program, I'm looking at a max probably 25 to 30.
Okay.
So again, they're not all going to be there at the same time, but we can license for up to like 52.
Cool.
But again, it's a different kind of license. So now I'm having to go through that entire licensing process. And
is that a whole lot more stringent than, I'm sure, the group home, right?
Yeah. And not only that, but like the fire marshal requires certain documentation. We have to get a code footprint from an architect, all those kinds of things. So there's a lot more involved to it. I have to get myself reviewed to be an actual director.
Okay.
Of course, with my degree and having done this for a couple of years, I shouldn't have a problem getting that approval, but I have to get that before I can do any of the other paperwork and get it sent in. There's a 60-day turnaround time approximately for licensing.
Man, that's cutting it close.
Yeah, but even if we get a temporary license in that time frame,
okay, you can do that.
Okay,
Okay,
but we're still, it's still a lot. So, and then I have to revise all of our required items like escape plans and
Right.
emergency plans and stuff. So I'm having to rewrite all of that as well.
Does it already
So
have like sprinklers and all the things that you would need, like code wise? It already has that, or you having to install those?
No, it doesn't have a sprinkler system. As far as I know, we're not going to be required to have one.
Okay.
However, we will have to get at least probably two of the approved or the rated fire extinguishers that we have to have. I have one here at the house, but I have to have two more. I'd have probably have at least two more over there.
And how big did you say the space is?
It's 1,300 square feet.
Okay.
Which sounds like a lot, but I'm sure that we get everything going, it's going to fill up quickly. So in the front, we'll have the preschool / junior kindergarten / kindergarten room. It's going to be one room with, appropriate child size stuff in it. We'll have what first as you walk in the door, we're planning on having a for the parents, so that when they come to pick up their kids, if the kid's not quite done with their tutoring session or whatever, they have some place that they can sit. The next section will be the preschool pre-K classroom. We'll have the kitchen. The dock will be kind of off to the side. There'll be a lounge area for the kids to kind of watch movies, play video games if they don't have homework. We'll have a section for their like cubicles for their to do their homework in. We'll also do some STEM. We'll have one area that they'll do STEM like science projects and stuff in. We'll have one area that they can do Lego building and stuff like that. We'll do some cooking classes there.
Cool.
Towards the back, we'll have the tutoring area. So there'll be a couple of private rooms in the back that are just going to be for tutoring. So it's kind of trying to figure out where all the sections need to go to get everything in there that we want to see in there.
Right.
So,
what are you going to call it?
It's going to have the same name.
Okay.
It's going to be Kansas Learning Academy.
Okay.
This the second.
Okay.
And then, but it does have its own logo and its own tagline.
Okay.
So the logo is the sun with what looks like waves, but it also looks like fish under it. And the tagline is surfing on the waves of knowledge. I had to stop and think because we've changed it a couple times. So surfing on the waves of knowledge is its tagline.
Nice.
Whereas the first location, it's the pencil rocket ship and the moon, and it's an adventure and learning. So it kind of goes, but I wanted that location to be kind of completely separate because it's a whole different model than what we have currently. So
is it still going to be full day, or are you going to do half days? Or both?
So it depends. Preschool will be Tuesday, Thursdays in the morning. Junior kindergarten will be Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the morning. Kindergarten is half day, Monday through Friday. So it's a 5-day, half day thing. And then of course the upper grades will be 9 to 3 is the school day. So it kind of depends on the age of kids. And then, but all of those kids will also have, we'll do camps over there in the summer. It'll be open when school's out for in-service days or whatever. Whereas this location, I think I'm going to start shutting down for those days.
And did you
And
get like a grant for this expansion? How financially, like, how did you decide that this was the right time, the next step? Were you able to get,
well,
I know with ARP, they're giving a lot of expansion grants. So how did that play in?
yeah. So right now, we are going to be eligible for grants,
Okay.
but we have to get up and running before we get the grant money.
Hmm.
So we refinanced our house, and we're
Okay.
using a HELOC loan to fund the opening, the renovations and stuff that need to happen
Okay.
over there. So then after that, once we get our temporary license, we'll be eligible for a startup grant.
Okay.
And then once we have our full license, then we'll be eligible for about a $9,000 a month grant for 9 months with a 5-month extension. So,
Sweet.
and that's actually money that DCF has allocated.
Oh, nice.
So,
Is that part of
then
the American Rescue Plan?
I think so.
Okay.
Well,
that's awesome. $9,000 a month. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of pays for itself at that point.
Mhm.
And but that money will go into getting ready for the next opening location,
Right.
and also paying back the HELOC, because
Yep.
that's a big deal.
Mhm.
And then I've also applied for a grant through VELA. It's VELA. I don't know if it's educational. It's an educational grant, but it's supposed to go towards innovative educational opportunities. So
Okay.
it's not public school money. It's more for people who are branching out, trying to find alternatives to public education. However, there was where I live, we were in the they had a early opening for where I live. And then it opened later for everybody else. But I applied at the beginning when they first opened it. They had 660 applicants for funding. So it's taking a while for them through all of the submissions.
Okay.
So we haven't had that one yet. But I can't remember how much it was. I think it was up to $10,000 or something like that.
Awesome. Is that through your
yeah.
state, or is that a federal thing, or is that
No, that's a
or
nonprofit thing. So
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
anybody can go to their website and apply for the grant. It's open
Ooh.
to everybody.
I
So
might go check out that website.
yeah, I think it's called the Vela Foundation.
Okay.
But I can certainly send everybody a link if
Yeah, there's so many grants. I got a lot of grant money this year from the ARP, and it's just helped so much. And it's going to help with marketing for my online program. And if we want to expand that, I wanted, having a grant to help do that would just be amazing, because it stresses me out thinking about doing it, taking out more loads and stuff. It stresses me out. So I would love to get like grants to do that type of stuff. It just takes a lot of time to search for them all.
Yeah, I feel fortunate that we could tap into the HELOC, that we have, a large enough equity to be able to do that. However, it also makes me nauseous to my stomach.
Yeah,
so,
totally.
But the new location, all of those kiddos will still have access to all of the extra online stuff that I pay for every year.
Okay.
So they have Spanish and French and sign language, and I do reading eggs and math seeds.
Okay. Those are websites.
And then ABC Mouse, obviously I have that. I also have books, and what's the other one I have? Rosetta Stone also. So if they want to do French or Spanish, they could tap into that and do a whole different language if they wanted to.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, so I've tried to add a value to what's going on over there too, primarily because what we decided to do with that is, when I did before and after school programs, I had two different pricing levels. And so now we've just decided it's a flat rate, regardless of how many days you're there, or, when, if you're just morning or just afternoon or both. And when I tell people that, I'm like, but here's all the other stuff that you get, with it. So that way, they kind of see that there's an added value to what they're, what they're paying for. So
yeah. And how about
hopefully,
hiring? How's the staffing going since you're opening in a couple months? Have you started staffing yet?
well, I've kind of been looking at some people. Um, the interior designer that we're working with, for the floor plan and stuff, she actually has a friend who was a second grade teacher in the Wichita School District, and she had been fed up and had enough of that. So she actually quit teaching in the public school system. So I'm thinking about maybe talking to her and seeing. But also, I have a lady who has been to this location a couple of times. I hire characters for different things throughout the year. And she came out as a Christmas Mickey. We
Okay.
did Mickey Mouse visited one year. And then this last winter, when we had our annual snowman breakfast, we had Elsa come out, and she
Nice.
was Elsa. So
Nice.
she actually wants to come and observe here with the kiddos, so that she can get her observation hours, because she's getting an early education degree.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I told her, I'm like, I'm going to need somebody with your skill set. So don't, that way she just kind of put the feelers out there and see.
Cool.
So we haven't actually started hiring yet, because we just got the keys yesterday, and there's so much more to do before we get there. So obviously my goal is to have somebody staffed, at least one person staffed, by the time we do our soft launch on the 1st. Really, it's going to depend on enrollment between now and then. So
yeah. And what's your marketing strategy for getting enrollment there?
Well, right now it's basically focusing on the school district's parent groups on Facebook.
Yep.
The ones that are, what am I going to do with my kid? And how am I going to get them to school when I have to be at work? Those people are the ones that are, you see in all the Facebook posts. So that's kind of where I've started my marketing at. Because I know those people are the ones that are in need. So that's the only thing I've done so far. We do have some temporary signage coming, which we'll put up on the building, and then we have some yard signs that we'll put out too.
Cool.
So we
Facebook is pretty much how I've done it this whole time. Yeah. Facebook moms groups.
Yeah. And that's kind of been how I've gotten mine too. So Facebook's it's just waiting for the right post to come along.
Totally. So, sometimes I feel like I'm just like scrolling just to find and I'm like, and then I find it. I'm like, sweet. Okay.
Yeah. I got to find the mom that's, having a panic. So that's kind of how I've done everything so far. I mean, we've put out some yard signs and stuff like that, especially when right as school's getting ready to start. We do some of that too, just because the traffic is heavier. We're lucky. We're right on the corner, right across from the middle school. So we've got really good, and we've got signage at the street once we get our sign. So we'll actually have pretty good exposure. I think once people know we're there, we'll be busy. So
yeah. Well, that's
I don't know if we're going to be
super exciting.
Busy. Yeah.
Super exciting. And then had to have a plan to make a new one every year. That's awesome.
Yeah. At some point I'm going to have to hire somebody to help me.
Yeah.
It's a lot to do because I do all the accounting, payroll, marketing, back office with the files and all of that stuff. So
yeah, it's a lot with the just with the group care, let alone with a whole new building.
Yeah, well, and then I do, I'm the cook in the morning at breakfast, so whatever
Oh, so are
we're
you going to
having that
provide
day.
meals?
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay. So that's
So
a whole
we'll,
other operation.
yeah, so here we provide too. So I usually do the breakfast in the morning. And then we have somebody who does the lunch and the afternoon snack for the kids here. But I do all the menu planning and all the shopping
Right.
and all of that stuff. So I'm pretty involved in all the meals that go on here too. So
Have you thought about
but
just having them pack lunch?
I thought about it, but then again, I'm like, I've had kids do that. It works fine. I don't have an issue with it, but I'm a really good cook. So
But for 52 kids, that's a lot.
that's a lot. Yeah. I don't know about 52 kids, but and I have some really great eaters too.
Yeah.
Some stuff we just can't make enough of. And one of their favorite things is a taco salad, which is nothing but vegetables. And most of them eat that just fine. So
Yeah.
I'm lucky in that respect. But
Awesome. Well, you got a lot going on. You got a lot going
yes.
on.
And
But it's all exciting. It's all exciting.
And I finally finished my hub website. So
nice. Yes. Getting it done.
Yeah, I had it for a year and it was never up and running because I never had time to do it. So the new hub training has been great.
Yes. Congratulations on that. That's a daunting task and you did it.
Yeah, I'm done. And I haven't even started my online program yet.
Okay.
So my online program is it's education on demand is what I call it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing too with the preschoolers, trying to step away from the live classes and just have a bunch of different on-demand classes that I offer.
Yeah. We have Mommy and Me Preschool and Mommy and Me Junior Kindergarten, so that they have both of those programs online. And of course, we'll have all the Spanish and French and sign language and all that stuff. I used to offer martial arts, but that what I was using for that, they aren't doing it anymore. I guess their website's down, so I don't offer martial arts anymore. But we did for a while.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually a good idea. Gotta look for something like that.
Yeah.
All right, now I have music, dance, and then the Spanish through the hub, and then my teaching time classes. But I'm looking for other types of things to offer. Maybe like an art class, martial arts would be fun.
Yeah, I'm actually starting. I'll have an art club for my online students, and what I've decided to do with my students here or at the other location is we never had enough time, it seemed like, to fit everything in. Like we do sign language at lunchtime, so if they want more of something, they have to sign it. We've kind of integrated stuff like that, but they're not really able to work through the lessons. So what I've decided to do is just offer those online, and they can do those in their free time, or they can do it at home if they're interested in taking those classes. We'll still do the sign language here. We'll probably still do the Spanish, but we're just not going to have a whole dedicated class to that specific subject. Yes. So because we just don't have enough time.
I hear it. I know I try and fit too much in my half day. I can't fit in so much. I want to fit in so much more. And then the time just goes like that. So I hear that.
Right. Yeah. Before you know it, it's quiet time and I'm ready for a nap. And
yeah. So what would you say is the biggest thing you've learned since 2 years of opening this model you have, and now starting to open a whole nother bigger thing? What would you say is the biggest thing you've learned along this journey?
Well, I think it would be to be adaptable. My school has changed as the market has changed. So the biggest thing is that I can say for anybody is just pay attention to what's going on in your community around you, because that will help you tailor and adapt your program kind of to what's happening. You know, where I live, micro schools are not a big thing. As a matter of fact, until I was interviewed on TV, nobody knew what a micro school was. So it's very hard here to get people to think outside the box, and realize that there are other alternatives to the public schools. I
Right.
happen to live in a district that is amazing and phenomenal, and they're above, you know, all the other districts, but as far as in their learning, but they still, when COVID hit, they still made mistakes. There were still issues. Parents were still frustrated. They continue to be frustrated because we're still, you know, reaping or dealing with the after effects of COVID. You know, they've loosened a lot of the protocols and stuff now. We don't have to wear masks and all of that stuff, but you know, we're still short on teachers. We're still short on bus drivers. We're short on lunch ladies. There's just not enough people in those jobs to get back to where we were before.
Right.
So I'm hoping that by having the new location, it will help people think outside the box.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
as a business owner, I've had to change my program to fit what the need is at that time. So and I think that's the one thing that I can tell anybody is just pay attention to what's happening around you, and tailor your marketing to what the parents are needing. If you belong, I belong to all sorts of mom groups, and they are not shy about telling you what they think or what they want to deal with. So I just listen, and then I'm like, okay, that's something I can adapt my program to accommodate, because if there's one, there's got to be more, right? So
Yeah.
that's kind of how I've done it, and I've stayed full the entire time. I can tell you kind of what I average a month in income. Of course, that's before expenses. It's about 10 grand a month.
Nice.
So it can be done.
Yeah.
When I first started with reading Joy's stuff and being part of All Stars, and they're like, oh, well, you can make, you know, I made this much money a month. I'm like, that's not even possible to do that. But now you know, when I look at my numbers, it's like, you know, wow, I can't believe we're averaging $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
Of course, then I figure out where it all went, but you know, groceries are crazy.
Payroll.
Payroll eats up
Everything.
yeah, about 50%, 50
Yeah.
to 60% is what payroll usually runs.
Yeah.
So I have, you know, I have great staff, so I don't mind paying them. Well, I do mind paying them because I'd rather have the money for myself. But you know, I'm able to still. I retired my husband from mechanical engineering in the aircraft industry, and
Nice.
he's here full time now. So I can't complain.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
I mean, you're doing
pretty
it.
good.
You're doing it. Yeah.
So
And
I
you're
can
moving
say,
on to bigger things too.
yeah, bigger mess is what it is right now. But you know, I'll be sure to keep everybody posted on progress. But
Oh yeah, totally. We'll have to do another update next year when you're getting ready to open your third location.
right. Oh my goodness, it just sounds like
Just get through the second one.
yeah. Like, the nice thing is that as I do this, if I can make it duplicatable, the next time it won't be so
Right. Yeah.
difficult.
Totally.
You can find a strip mall just about in any city, anywhere. And the only thing that's going to really vary is the square footage you have to work with.
Yeah.
Which just means you add more cubicles or whatever. So,
yeah.
And I'm hoping that at some point I can make that available to other other ladies who are wanting to do the similar thing. That way that they don't have to start from scratch. They have something to kind of go off of. So that way that they can duplicate what we've done here. And it's not going to probably work in all markets, but it's going to work in most.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
People always need someplace for their kids to go.
It's true.
So,
it's true. Well, thank you so much for giving us an update. I can't wait to keep following your journey, and I can't wait to see the ocean beach theme of your building. That sounds really fun.
We're going to have an interactive wall for the kids.
Nice.
So that when they come in, they can decorate, you put fish in there and seaweed and seahorses. Cool. And so every day it's going to change because they're going to put their stuff in different places. So awesome. We wanted to make sure that it was really inviting and different, because we're not a daycare. So right. It's going to be a totally different kind of concept. So we'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Well, I wish you all the best of luck, and we'll check back in next year to see what's going on. All right.
Sounds
Thank you
good.
So much for talking to me again, Sherry.
Thanks.
If you'd like to have a success story just like that one, I invite you to join our Preschool All-Stars. It's my exclusive membership community where you'll get mentorship from me with weekly Q&A lives, support and guidance and friendship from hundreds of women on the exact same journey as you, starting, running, and growing their preschools, and my exclusive access to Preschool University, every training and done-for-you file that you'll need for every milestone on your journey to help you start, run, and grow your preschool. We've all been there, and we've got the exact same steps that you need to go through, but we do it all very quickly so that you don't have to waste time or money doing the wrong things at the wrong time. We'd love for you to join our Preschool All-Stars membership. Just go to preschoolallstars.com or click the link in the description to immediately jump into Preschool All-Stars. Again, go to preschoolallstars.com and we'll see you there.